Hello everybody, my name is Claire Barrett and I'm coming to you live from my lockdown studio between my wardrobe and a wall. I'm just delighted to be able to chat to you today about my experience as the Viking, and thank you very much to Laura and to Andy for hosting these great series and for asking me to do it. Like many of you, my first experience of the Viking was actually as an audience member. I was rehearsing a play called The Galway Girl for Bewley's Cafe Theatre with Pat Moylan was producing, and the director was a man called Terry Byrne, who at the time was doing a play in a place called the Viking Theatre. Had I heard of it? And to my shame I hadn't at the time, but I think this was 2012, so I'm hoping it was early in proceedings. But it was after that I got to know Laura and Andy and started to attend regularly. And my goodness, what an introduction. It was directed by Breathe Cash and starred Andy Murray of Viking Theatre fame and also Terry Byrne. And it was called Tuesdays at Mari. And I made a lovely evening of it for myself. A friend and myself went to see it. We got on the 1:30 bus. We went out to Clontarf. We had some fish and chips and Bishoff's around the corner and a lovely pre-show drink downstairs in the sheds, and up we went. And from the moment we arrived, it was an event. And I think every time you go to the Viking Theatre, it's an event. It's such a fantastic venue. Now, it is, as many people have described, intimate, which I absolutely love. I mean, everybody there is packed in, and that shows the popularity of the plays as well. And they're all just delighted to be there, looking forward to whatever it might bring. This is a fantastic element of the Viking Theatre, is that you get regular clientele coming back, and they love me. I wasn't a fan of last week's one now, but I really liked this one, and I love that about it. And on this, my first occasion, I think Don mentioned that this might have been pre-air conditioning days, so it was a little bit warm, but it was also very moving, so there was lots of passing of tissues for either damping the forehead or for drying the eyes. And we had a fantastic evening, and I think that is where Laura and Andy excel, in that they choose really good stories, very well told. And for me, it was a brilliant reminder of growing up in Galway. We went to theatre regularly above the King's Head, where we watched the Flying Pigs and various other theatre companies try out their wares. And it's always just a fantastic evening, and I wasn't aware of anywhere in Dublin that was doing it prior to this. I know the Theatre Upstairs came later, and but apart from Bewley's, there wasn't many places where you could see a one-act play or new writing or young companies trying out their wares. So the Viking Theatre really opened my mind to some fantastic stuff that was being performed and going on. And after that, then sure, I became a regular, hopping on the 1:30 bus, goodo. I'd come out to see the lovely Michael James Ford doing A Christmas Carol, or you could have the fantastic Seamus O'Rourke, who I didn't know at the time but was really enjoying his work, and later got to work with him, which was fantastic. And there was my lecturer from college, the fantastic Susie Kennedy, in her hilarious Goes By. So the core ensemble, I mean, I could go on, but it's just been the fantastic variety, and always with the same touch of really good stories, really well told. And I think that's the marker and the good eye of Laura and Andy, that they get those great shows in that keep us coming. My experience in the Viking Theatre as an actor didn't happen until 2006, when the fantastic Breathe Cash decided to do an adaptation of Maeve Binchy's book, Minding Frankie, which was a massive undertaking, and I think the first of its kind. It was adapted by Shay Linehan and directed by Peter Sheridan, and I was in it, playing many characters alongside the lovely Stevie Blount. Now, unlike Stephen Jones, I can't do the split screen, but for any of you who know Stevie, I'm sure you'll recognise the resemblance there. I drew a little picture of him. He's got a big smiley face and very long in the body, and I'm sure he says a big hello, because we both had the most fantastic time doing that show. Like when you're rehearsing any new piece of writing, there's always a bit of nerves as to how stuff will land, and also Maeve is very beloved, so we were worried that that we would do proper justice to her fantastic characters, and where better to test it than to premiere in the Viking Theatre. And by all means, everybody let us know by their reactions every night, and we had a fantastic reaction to the play, that they liked it. And also it's a great audience for chats afterwards. People want to stay around to chat to you about how the piece went, how it came about, and what they liked about it. And I really, really enjoyed that aspect of the Viking too as well. But as a lot of people in their videos have mentioned, the intimacy of the Viking Theatre, which is a fantastic thing. I love it personally. I kind of quite get a kick, and I have played in a lot of places where you're right on the lapse of your audience, but in this particular instance, I think it was the first time I could hear things in the audience. So when we're on a night out, we might like to say to our colleague beside us, going, God, that's good, or I like that, or laugh, when you're laughing or sharing a laugh or nudging together. But this was the first time where I could hear, in a particularly dramatic piece, how it was wrenching up and how it was being received. And my character of Moira is, now she's not very nice, but she does redeem herself as the play goes on. But in this instance, a particular scene, she's not being very nice to Stevie's character, Noel, telling him some hard facts, and also maybe being a little bit more forthright than she should have been. And she's gearing up to this big statement, and on the gear up I could hear things going, oh God, she's a whacking. Can you believe she said that? That's a bit, and it's coming and rising. And then I drop this big line where I say that the character Noel's child may not be his, to which there was an intake of breath and a very loud, what a bitch. And to say that we had to bite our tongue and our lip and everything to keep going is an understatement, but we did. And we went on to have a fantastic run in the Viking, and from there we had a short little national tour, but the next time we performed was on the Gaiety stage. So I'm always very excited to tell people that we started in the Viking and went on to the Gaiety, because that's really where it all started. That's where we put the foundations down, and the show went on to great success, went to England, went all over Ireland, and another run at the Gaiety. But it really all started in the Viking for us. And what a great experience to be out there among the lovely people of Clontarf, enjoying what we have out there. And just for a little recap though, because I really do think we should make sure that we get more and more people coming to the Viking Theatre. I know I'll be back when the lockdown is lifted, but just in case you need any little reminders, it's just what I said. For the cultures and those of us not from Dublin, the 1:30 bus, don't forget to come early so that you can have a nice cup of tea and a sandwich in Kennedy's, or a lovely Bischoff's around the corner. And don't forget a nice G&T in the Sheds, either before or after. You can't beat it. And the only other thing I really would like to see in the Viking is a swimming club. I mean, you have it outside. I'm a Galway girl. I love the water. So anybody want to join me? Now, there's a full tide.